Well, I'm saying that if Shakespeare knew about Pikachus, he would totally have written a play about you too. An iambic pentameter, and accents and flourishes, and oh, hello there, we're rolling. Hi, welcome back once again. Haha, it is time for the golden age of DC Comics 365 days, where I take this beloved hardcover coffee table book given to me about 2 decades ago by one of my best friends. This has been surfing my coffee table ever since, being a constant source of comic book shop style conversations, the kind I wish to recreate today, here, right now, with you. Thank you so much for dropping in. You are the most important ingredient in our recipe. Please keep the comments coming. This conversation has been going on all year long, all year strong, and it's going on the rest of the year too. You know it, I know it. We're in this together. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am using this 365 days book for its intended purpose. I'm going to open up to today's date, November the 3rd. We're going to look at some comic book art of an antediluvian age. We're going to read the blurb, and then we're going to talk about comic books. And we're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. This is the golden age of DC Comics. That runs between 1938, the first appearance of Superman in Action Comics #1, until 1955. The Silver Age from 1955 until 1970. The Bronze Age, I'm a Bronze Age baby myself, from 1970 until about 1984 or 5. And the Copper Age begins in 1985. I get these standards and definitions from the glossary of the latest edition of the Overstreet Comic Book Price Guide. This is a great resource for any comics fan. Also, while I get your attention and talking about some books, I would love to turn you on to these 2 books. Okay, look, this is a comic book, a floppy, a magazine, a monthly publication. This is what holds us together. Look, see, we have, it's a comic book. Yes, this is why we're here, sequential art. How do I know this terminology? Oh, I'm going to get to that in a second, but we are usually on the outside of the comic book looking in. And these afford us the insider's look, looking out. This is Understanding Comics, The Invisible Art by Scott McCloud. It's given me the vocabulary I need to describe these things, such as the importance of sequential art, how 2 panels of art together, side by side, can tell a story. This is a crash course in art history. There's a lot of good things in this book, and it's funny because it uses the comic book as the vessel of its own information. There's a lot to unpack here. It's fun and it's informative. This is the How to Draw Comics the Marvel Way by Stan Lee and John Buscema. This is amazing. It shows you about form and how to get there. It shows you about like the swing, the follow through. Where is where is the most dynamism in your drawing? Like, where is there what is a weak position and what is the best position or the strongest position? I love these things. Also, perspective, literal perspective. This is the insider looking out. Also, I like to say that this beloved hardcover coffee table book is a 2004 Abrams Press publication, written and curated by Geoff Spear, Chip Kidd, and Les Daniels. You think I'd know that by now, huh? There is a link in the description to the Amazon page if you want your own copy of this book or the other 3 publications. They'll look great on your coffee table too. This makes a great gift for a geek. And I like to pimp this book because I've given this book maybe a second or even third life by now. I've had it for almost 20 years. I thought it would make great content, that a good excuse to talk about comic books every day for 1 whole year. And we've been doing that. You're a big part of that. Thank you so very much. So let's get to it. Let's open this book up to today's date. It is November the 3rd. And it's from Girls Love Stories, number 11, May, June of 1951. And we have a costume party. Oh, Alan, you're kissing the wrong girl. Oh boy, now let's read the blurb. And then we're going to talk about comic books. I swear. Swear to my Pika. And my little drinker. It's annoying enough when somebody shows up wearing the same dress that you have on. Tell me about it. She's always a bridesmaid, never a bride. But it's even worse when you're attending a master ball. A situation like this frequently ends in farce. In a farce, yes. But here, DC is playing it for tragedy, just like in Romeo and Juliet. In fact, those two kids met at a masquerade, didn't they? Could there have been another girl decked out in the same costume as Juliet who got dumped when Romeo took a wrong turn? The answer to that question is Rosaline. Yes. I mean, I'm literally answering the question asked in today's page. Rosaline, I'm going to read this from, you guessed it, the wiki. ATST. Rosaline. Who is Rosaline in regards to Romeo and Juliet? All right. Rosaline is a fictional character mentioned in Shakespeare's tragedy, Romeo and Juliet. She's the niece of Lord Capulet. And although an unseen character, her role is important. Romeo's unrequited love for Rosalind leads him to try to catch a glimpse of her at a gathering hosted by the Capulet family. Now remember, his family are the Montagues, and they're the sworn blood enemies of the Capulets. So he's being a naughty boy right now, on two levels, trying to sneak into this party of his family's enemy and to try to woo and bed a member of, you guessed it, his family's enemy. Okay. And he to try to catch a glimpse of her at a gathering hosted by the Capulet family, during which he first spots her cousin, Juliet. It's true. And so there's a lot. Rosalind's is interesting because she spurns Romeo's advance off panel before Act 1 begins. So Romeo's going into this like, oh, I'm depressed. Oh, poor me. Oh, how do I win the affections of Rosalind thee? That's not a quote from Shakespeare. No, that's me being goofy. And thank you, Siri. And as you can hear, I have the Australian Siri. I love Australian Siri. She helps me out. Yeah. Thanks. And but Rosalind is so yeah, he's like, Romeo's really depressed that Rosalind spurned his advance. And so he sneaks into the party, into the costume party, to try to, chance an encounter with her and try, But then he sees Juliet, and the game changes, and so does the story. But what if Rosalind saw what was going on with her cousin and the boy she just spurned? Yeah, that's storytelling, and those are stories, and these are references, and this is the stuff that goes on, and good stories. Good stories reference old stories. We were talking on Wes's channel last Saturday about how good writers are voracious readers and are very well read, and to balance that with modern writers who eschew and even shun and shame antiquity and what became beforehand, and all this beautiful history that led to our vantage point today. Yes, and it's kind of a slow news day because talking about girls love stories, right? So on slow news days, I'm doing something called Tales from my spinner rack. Yes, that's the arena echo. This is a proud citizen of my spinner rack, has been for a long time, and this is my my one and only copy of Watchmen. I'd never had Watchmen in singular issues. I did read it though, month per month. I remember vividly because I was a kid going up to Superhero Universe 3 in the corner of Winter and Washington streets, and it was so naughty. I mean, to see like the nudity in this, to see boobies, I mean, I don't want to talk about fueling the sales of puberty. That's not what this show is about. But Watchmen, this is my original trade paperback. I've had this over 25 years, and it's been recolored ever since in more modern more modern printings of it. It's been recolored. I'm weird. This is where, like, being a comic book fan is such a. I like to use the notion of the five tastes. We're all humans. We all taste the same 5 things, but why do we prefer some combinations and abhor other combinations when there are 5 of these? And when some humans have positive experiences with it, some people have negative. But it's so these are our so such as that. Like, what's the difference? What's the big deal? I mean, I don't know. These are just, I love the original coloring in this. There's just something really, it's nostalgic. And John Higgins did the coloring in here. And one of the themes of Watchmen is nostalgia. And it's a huge theme. And in here I found some old papers. I want you to look at this for a second. Tell me what you see. It's my ticket stub. I miss ticket stubs, don't you? QR codes will not replace ticket stubs. But I was with one of my best friends, his wife-to-be, and his sister. And I owe him $12 for a movie from 2009, okay? And yeah, there's just, and I really liked that Zack Snyder movie, okay? I really did. There's a few of his movies that I really like. 300, I like his Justice League. I ended up liking that a lot. That's on you, Fatal J, for saying, hey, go give it a chance. And I did. And I liked it. And you know what? Man of Steel does hold up. I know Man of Steel. I know Clobby. It's got my buddy Mike Alonzo, Clobbering Times, is going to razz me for saying that. I mean, because he calls it Man of Steel. And funnily so. And I really dig him. And in his sense of humor and where he's coming from. But so what was my bookmark here for? It was here for this page of this panel of 2 skeletons kissing. For a good 20 years or more. I was going to put that right here as a tattoo. I have a tattoo of a card. So I wanted it to have these 2 panels as a kind of a balance. And I never got it done. Yeah, and which is, it's fine. I could always get it done, that I can always get it. But yeah, that was going to be that panel right there. I actually went to a local Boston tattoo place in Davis Square, and they refused to do this. I brought it with me, and I was like, and it's just, I wouldn't want my art associated with something like that. Wow, all right. I'll take my business elsewhere, I guess. I got this, too. This is, anyone can read Arabic. This is also a Dune reference. And that was going to go in Arabic on my arm. And I've dropped my my ticket stub on the floor. I'm going to have to find that in a little bit and put it back where it was here. But yeah, it was the ticket stub from Zack Snyder's The Watchmen from 2009. I haven't seen the extended version of that, and I really would, because it also contains the Black Freighter, I believe. And this is just, the original coloring in this is just amazing. I always thought so. So when it comes to recolorings of books, yeah, it's just, I don't know. I don't see it as an improvement. I just see it as a different version that just someone did for the sake of perhaps moving new copies. And maybe even just the noble notion of cleaning it up and being like, hey, look at it. Doesn't how fresh this looks? But sometimes they just change too much. Like, you only had so many colors back in 1985, 1986. And now we have so many more colors and different things we can do digitally. But yet, I find the old coloring to be superior. Nostalgia, huh? It was that huge theme of Watchmen. We've been talking about comic books, and guess what? We're going to talk about comic books every day for the rest of the year. So tune in tomorrow, 3 p.m. U.S. Eastern, and we'll find out who we're talking about when we turn the page tomorrow. Please like and subscribe. I would love to earn your subscription. We make regular content, we make daily content, and hopefully something you like. We talk about comic books, cooking, gratitude, spirituality. I point out planets in the early morning. If it's clear out, I go, look, that's the planet Mars. I will be for the next several weeks. So tune in. It's early in the morning, so catch it when you're waking up over your coffee and enjoy, please. Thank you so much. God bless. Namaste. Good luck. And we will see you again tomorrow in those funny pages. What? Oh, Pika says bye too. Bye-bye.